Alright, I think everything's working now. What up, people? What I'm working on today is a shape key system and working on different type of shape keys, or blend shapes as they're known in other software programs. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Some pretty boring stuff, but yep, this is part of the process. So I'm working on my avatar right now, just trying to get the facial expressions to work the way that I want them to work. And so far, it's been very frustrating, honestly, trying to make your own add-on, your own tool. However, with time, you learn how to adjust and, you know, get it done. So, yep, let's see here. So I need to match the shapes and make sure that they're correct. So right now I'm working on blinking. Was it blinking? Or eye? No, I did the eye squint. Yeah. Eye squint left and then eye squint right. So now I'm working on eye wide left, which if you look it up should go a little something like this. So that's what we're working on, trying to get that result right there. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but you just make it your own in a way, whatever works for you. So since we're working on the left side, I got this tool that I made, and all I gotta do is store the rest poses, and then we go into pose, and from here this is where we can adjust the face bones. So as you can see, with our shape key that we're trying to make this eyes like a little shocked. So let's try to do that. Let's make the eyes a little shocked like that. We just capture that motion there, and everything's stored here on the location and rotation. And then when we're done, reset it. Simple as that. And then all I gotta do now is just press the create blend shape here, and then as you can see, that's the results right there. We got the shocked look that we're trying to go for. Now, before I used to copy like all these different values and individually try to copy them over, because like let's say I do something to the left eye, I want to do the same thing to the right eye. That could be a pain in the ass. So what I made along with this tool is like a copy the transform, so I can copy the location and the rotation and just make sure that it actually pastes correctly to the other eye. So let's see that in action. So we got this shape key that we made here. We just copy those rotations and everything, and then we just paste it over here. Oh, you know what? One thing here. Yeah, left eye up. Want to make sure that we copy the right bone, because we only used one bone. You could use more for surprised or whatever, but I'm just going to use one for this example. And then we just paste this over here. Bam. And then this should work in theory the same way. Oh yeah. Probably helps if I'm on the other side, right? Bam. Takes all the work out of doing it twice. Just copy and paste. And I just gotta re-add these here because there was a bug that I was working out. Had to do with the what's it called? Yeah, it had to do with the strength of the actual bone movement. So that's what I was working with. So let's see, what are we gonna do? Alright, so back to the eye movements. I'm gonna add these all back just to make sure that that bug is taken care of. Because if you look at them right now, let's give an example here. When I blink on the right side, it's a little intense and you can see like too much of the deformation. So I fixed that, and now if we do the same shape key, so I blink right, where is it, that's I blink right, okay, right here, bam. So we just redid that shape key. And the cool thing about this tool that I made was the shape key gets erased, so I don't have to go manually erase it myself. I can just make it disappear. So let's see it in action. And as you can see, I need to work on that one. Before it was too intense. Now it's not even strong. So let's go back to that. So let's go back to the blinking. Let's just restart this here. Okay. Pose mode. Bam. Close the eyes. Then we go get the other one. We don't want to make it too drastic. So let's pose that bone again. Bring it down a little bit more. And obviously if you want to get like better control, it's better to like fine tune these to the exact size that you're looking for. But for now I'm just going to leave it like that. Just a little bit above. It's okay if you see a little bit of the eye right there because he's just blinking, so it should be okay. Alright, now speaking of which, let's go back here. We're going to capture the transforms of both bones, and then we're going to reset them so that way he has his eye back open. And then all we got to do now is just re-add it. And perfect. Now everything's working exactly how it should be. So that's exactly how we did it in pose mode. And now the tool finally does it in the exact way it's supposed to. And like I said before, we can just copy. So copy the bone transformation here, paste it on the other one, then we go and copy the bone transformation here, and then we paste it on this one, and let's get out of that. And then we should select the rig again, because we always got to select the object and the rig, and then we just add the shape key that we want. And as we can see, it's not always perfect, because maybe on one side you can get away with a certain pressure, or maybe you set it up that way, and on the other side it doesn't work out. So that's very simple. We can just go in here, go back to pose, and now we're going to adjust manually. So we just got to go back over here, pose, adjust manually. And like I said, you're going to want to probably have the bone bigger so you can make up for the eyes. You know what? Let's do that now. Let's stop being lazy. Yeah. I'm going to just redo this. So reset, reset. Let me just put on some music here. Let's see. Another thing I can do Alright. And then we need to do the same thing over on this side. So you notice that it's not too much strength over here. So you want to get that natural eye movement. And the reason why this one isn't so close either is because I don't want to get too much of the actual eyeball. Because the way I have this mesh set up is that it's basically, let me make myself a little comfortable here, is that it's basically like a single mesh, meaning that most of the eyes, teeth, tongue, everything is all part of the same mesh. It's not separate, so you can't go in there and like move the stuff around normally. You got to weight paint and make sure that everything's set up properly. So as you can imagine, that could take some time, especially when you're creating different characters. But the whole purpose of this is for me to practice, so when I'm working on some characters for an upcoming project, I can actually have the experience. And you always want to practice on something that you have backed up, something that you can mess around with freely. That's what I would recommend. And I've been spending the better half of a few months now just working on the tool and just trying to get it working right, and learning how Blender really works, taking the time to actually learn Blender, because I've been kind of putting off a lot of stuff in Blender and just learn as I go. But I really like buckled down the last few months and went all in on the learning process. So something new. Let me just check something really quick. Let's see. Alright, nobody in the chat. Not on this one at least. And let's check it out here. Yeah, I don't know why the YouTube app likes to mess up. Oh well. Anyways, like I was saying, we're just gonna weight paint a little bit, make sure that the eyes are good, and then we go back into here, and now we can mess around with the actual blinking stuff and make sure that it's done properly. So let's go back to blinking on the left side. Let me see, how is it? That's not. Yeah, that's overdone. Saying it disconnected, but I see everything connected. Whatever. Okay, now let's see here. Okay, so let's get back into posing. Okay, let's see. Simple eye close. Getting sleepy, very, very sleepy. Alright, let's see. It's not perfect, but it will do for now. I'll fine tweak that shit later. Let's see here. So now we just capture, reset, reset, add it. Then we're gonna go back. We're gonna copy that, paste it here, copy this, paste it there. Then we add blank right. So let's test it out. Let's see, blank left, and then blank right. Okay, we still got a little bit of issues right here. Let's see if that's because of the copied transforms or if it's the weight painting. So let's check it out. Let's see here. Go back into pose. I reset all that shit too, I think. Yeah, so it's a weight painting. That's not gonna work. Alright, reset. Okay, let's see here. Bam, bam. And if you guys have any questions or want to know how this process goes, feel free to put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll try to explain as much as I can along the way. Let's see. I had some music. Let's put on some random shit. Okay, let's see. I think I need to put more weight over here. Bam. Come on. Let's see. It's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit better. So I was using the other program before called Low Poly. It was Blockbench. That's what I was using, and that's cool for a little bit. But I want to get more into higher end modeling, developing, stuff like that. eyeball, I don't know why, gets affected somehow. Maybe something that I'm doing, like a paint through thing or something. Still got it on that side. So weird getting inside the character's head. And I remember the first time I saw something like that in a video game was when I played what's it called, Harry Potter video game on PlayStation 1. And you would just turn the character's head against, like you would just turn the camera against the wall, and then the camera would go inside the character's head, and all you saw was like floating eyeballs. Freaked me out as a kid. But then I realized that all these video game characters are empty on the inside. And the reason they do that is because of the computing power. Because if you were to tell the computer to generate a heart for the character, guts, stomach, all that stuff, computationally it would be a lot to keep track of, especially back in the day, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, all those older consoles. They had limited memory, limited graphics, so you definitely didn't want to like render everything. Nowadays, a lot of game developers in the AAA space, not indie space as much, but they tend to take advantage of all the extra computing power that we have nowadays. But if you learn these basic techniques of just making sure that things are optimized correctly for a game engine, that'll take you ahead so far. Lessons that I've had to learn the hard way. Okay. I think I almost got the eyeball stuff taken care of. Let's just see if the eyelid actually moves. Okay. Save that actually. There we go. See that right there? This is why we test things. Alright, let's bring that back up to 50%, right around there. Probably that's the reason why part of it went through the mesh. To make sure that it can actually work. Oh, yeah, must be in post mode. Okay, let's see. Is that part of the eye? Okay, shouldn't be too much of an issue. We'll see. Probably want to make this a little bit stronger though. So let's try 70% strength right there. I'm going to try the same thing on the other side. So let's see. See, is the music working right? And I'm gonna make the audio come out somewhere else here. Give me just a brief moment, guys. Let's see. Should be moving more naturally now. Yes. Perfect. Go back over here. Pose. keep it pretty even. Da, 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 da. Let's bring that back down. I mean, they're kind of clashing there, right? Clashing, not clashing. What the heck am I saying? Let's see. No, let's just put it back. Yeah, because I'm going to have like some longer eyelashes or something. I don't know. But that should be good. So we're going to capture that, reset, reset. Then we got to copy the transform, paste the transform, go and copy the other transform, and then paste it right here. And I should be able to have both shape keys working good. So we'll see. Maybe we need to weight paint like just a little bit stronger. Yeah, right there in the middle. And let's check the right side, just be on the safe side. And on the right side we have the issue too, where it's not much weight paint in the middle. So that's our next mission. Mesh. bad. Maybe just right there. Yeah, that should be good. Because I don't want it to have too much influence over the eyeball or affect that in any way. Then we're just going to do the same thing here. Going to rotate this the other way. Move this about there. Alright, test. Turn down the volume here. I'm just testing to see how the audio is. Okay, since I don't really have a good mic set up right now, I'm gonna have to rely on this. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So what I'm saying right here is that I had to reset the rotation here. Is that the Z axis? Yeah. The hell if I know. Blender is such a mystery to me. Okay, let's see. I want to kind of match it right there. So I want to copy and paste that here. Maybe. Just might be right. Yeah. And since we're going to be moving those, let's move these two. And just rotate this a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. What is that? 40, no, -4. Okay. Just about the same. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I say, but most of the time I'm just going crazy with all this little stuff. Okay, that should be good. So we're going to go back into setting up the shape key here. Go down on my tool. Go back to that side there. Oh, wait. Before we do all that, I wanted to weight paint the middle a little bit. Yeah. We need to make the middle just a little bit stronger on the weight paint. So since we were at 70, now we're going to go to 7.5-ish, right around there. Yeah. Cool. Alright, let's see. Just a tad bit stronger. And then we'll do the same thing. Oh, we'll go 1. Yeah. There we go. Just a tad bit stronger. And then let's see if that affects it properly. Okay, cool. Seems to be going down. Maybe just a little bit over here. So let's go back to weight paints. Put a little bit over here. Then we're going to test it out. Starting to look like more of a natural eye lid movement. Okay. Now we just got to do the same thing to this side. So just a little bit there, 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 there. No, too much. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Getting too excited, man. Getting too excited. Okay, let's see. No, what'd I do? What? I don't know. That was weird. Don't press random buttons in Blender. It's my younger brother hitting me up. Why won't you go away? Damn you. Alright, let's go back to this. Strength? Nah. Maybe up the radius. Do I gotta go in this mofo? Or am I just approaching it wrong? Yeah, I'm approaching it wrong. There we go. Nope. Let's bring that radius back down. I will get a better mic setup next time. Definitely. This was just a test, just to see how the stream would go and if I can actually record properly. So, excuse the sound quality. I'm just using a webcam mic. Yeah, no. It's too much, bro. Right around there, yeah. That should be good. Only one way to find out. Okay, we still got an issue with this little arch right here. So we just gotta weight paint our way through that. Just a little bit. Okay, let's retest it. Okay, we got some issue over here. Just clean that up real quick. Bam! No. It's way too much. Hold on. Bam. That's a little bit more subtle. And like I said before, I don't want to have weight paint on the eye, so let's get rid of that. Be gone. Be gone. Okay. I think that's semi-decent. Let's see. Just a little bit right there. Okay. We don't want the strength to be all the way up there, so we'll put it back down to 700, right around there. Just a little bit of... Okay. Let's try that. Alright. It's actually starting to look decent. But, as you notice, got some issues here. I think I do need to paint underneath the eyelid just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. let's do that. Let's see if it works. Nope, too much. That should be okay, not too bad. Alright. We should at least bring you down halfway, no problem. Alright, yep. Painting underneath the eyelid did help a ton. And then when we bring this one up, bam, bam. Okay, so let's save what we got so far. Let's go over to the other side. Let's try to replicate that. So we just gotta paint a little bit stronger right here. I'd say full force, yeah. Rudolph the red-eyed reindeer, eyelid reindeer. No, I'm just playing. Be gone. Go away. Yeah. Get out of here. What is that? Oh no. Yeah. For the most part, it's a little uneven. Just a little bit. So let's weight paint a little bit more. No, that's the wrong weight. Let's see. Let's go back to 7, right around there, yeah. And right around there. Cool. How simple something as blinking can be for us, but trying to do it on Blender can be quite complex sometimes if you don't set up your meshes correctly, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to fix all my mistakes. Because if I'm going to use an avatar, I gotta make sure I set it up right. And I think we have what we're looking for. Let's go back here. Can you blink though? Looks like just a little bit right here. Okay, just a little bit more weight over here. I don't want to overkill. Gotta drop that radius. Bam. No. Alright. We have a closed eye. Okay. So let's save that. Let's go back into our object mode. No. Select the mesh, select the rig, and then we're going to try the blinking one more time. That should be perfected now. Look at that. Nice, okay. Capture that, reset, reset, copy that, paste it right here, copy that, paste it right here. We should also close this so we don't have to worry about it. Alright, bam, bam, okay. Left eye blinks and does the right eye. It also blinks. Perfect. And since we're already here, let's go copy this. Paste here. Let's see. Copy that. Paste here. Now on the right side, I'm gonna copy, paste, right lower, copy, and paste. And now we should have blinking. So let's get the character to blink. Yep, looks all good. Well, that's been my process. Just wanted to share some of that with you guys and what I've been working on. This tool Took me several months to make using Grok AI for a lot of the coding, because I pretty much know like C sharp coding, but I'm not too adept with this type of coding program and everything. So yeah, it is what it is. You use any tools that you can to your disposal, and as long as you're not ripping anybody off or stealing from anybody, then you should be good. Use AI as a tool, but don't use it as the main source. Don't rely on it too much. Um, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Just kind of share the process with you. And again, like I said earlier, it's more of a test stream, just so I can see how streaming works, and so I can get an idea. I also have a mic in the background, um, like all the way back there, that I can hook up next time. I just gotta make sure that I do it. But until next time,